Já vás zdravím z polského Guitar Fest a tady je můj nový kamarád Mario from Tube Workshop. We will speak English, of course.
Yeah, that will help.
Yeah, or German, but...
My Czech is not very good.
Okay, so I will give you a couple questions.
Yeah?
So can you introduce yourself, like when you started and why maybe, and what are you doing now?
So I'm Mario from Tube Workshop. My company is still pretty young. It was actually founded 4 years ago. What we do, what I do, I'm the main guy, is hand building tube amps in Germany. And that's what we do.
And how it starts? Like, did you do stuff with amp a long time before, or?
Actually, I worked on amps basically my whole life,
okay.
But more as on a hobby base.
Yes.
Because I was always into the thing, finding the best sound, how can I optimize devices, and it was a hobby. It kind of got serious during COVID actually,
yeah.
Because we were all running into that lockdown and we realized, okay, we will spend a lot of time at home. So I was thinking, what can I do during that time? And so I started buying old European tube amps on eBay, like really rough stuff for 100 euros or something. Because I thought, okay, I've seen a lot of Fenders, I've seen a lot of Marshalls and Foxes, so what else is out there in the tube world? And so I got these old European tube amps and I converted them into guitar amps. Mm-hmm. And some were like nice, some were like pretty good, and some were like, oh, this is a sound I haven't heard before from a guitar amp. And this actually gave the final trigger to start Tube Workshop.
That's interesting, something
because
new.
I thought I do something that is really interesting. So actually those were the first 2 amps that came from a Philips hi-fi amp. I call it hi-fi. Also hi-fi didn't exist back then. It was a tube amp to listen to music. It had an input called gramophone.
Yeah, these kind of amps, okay.
And I converted this into a guitar amplifier, and I loved the sound because it had this wide open sound without being annoying in the top end. It had a very nice breakup sound. It didn't get muddy. And so I was like, okay, is it just this special amp or can I recreate that? And so I went on that journey on trying to recreate that old amp because you can't get those tubes anymore with components that are available these days. And so this was actually my first amp design. And I thought like, well, perhaps the rest of the world should know about that.
Yeah.
That was another crazy one in the beginning. It's a 6-watt amp. It's single-ended with 1 output tube. Has a very nice clean tone, very sweet sounding. Some say, like the guy behind the camera says, it's chocolatey sounding.
Chocolatey, okay.
Which is a quite good explanation. And it does that at already really low volumes. And so what I wanted to make is kind of a bedroom amp. Mm-hmm. You know the term bedroom amp, which means an amp that works at low volumes. But normally what a bedroom amp is a manufacturer scale wattage together with the housing. So if the wattage goes small, also the housing and the speaker goes small. And then it sounds like that.
Yeah, small cab.
Because they think practice amp. But I wanted an amp that sounds really great at low volumes. So therefore it has a bigger housing, a full-blown speaker. I wanted an adult sounding bedroom amp. Yeah. And interestingly, I found that in an old French amp I got from Paul Bouillet, which was originally used in a French railway train station to make announcements. But that concept for that amp, don't go into the details how the concept is, but that gave me a really nice sounding bedroom amp at low volumes. And so this is kind of where Tube Workshop originally came from. So you already see it's like always there's a story about one amp and a certain sound for one amp. So they're all not like multi-channel, I can do everything amps. It's always the amp does a special sound and tries to do it best. And so from there it moved on with stuff like that. That's actually the signature amplifier from Uwe Lulis, German guitar player that played at Gravedigger. He played 10 years at Accept.
Some metal.
Metal, so like European 80s metal. And he was looking for a signature amp that recreates his sound from the 80s. So he came with one of his well-known Gravedigger recordings and told me, Mario, listen to that song, that's my sound. I want to have that back again. And so it turned out his sound was always the combination of a modified Marshall JCM 800 plus a Boss OD1.
Okay.
That combination. So we put that together in one box. So what you see here as an overdrive knob is actually a Boss OD1 circuit that you can combine with the amp. This amp was there, the idea of this amp was let's recreate that 80s European hard rock heavy metal sound. And that's what we did.
Great.
This is my latest amp. It's called the Cali Sunset.
Okay.
It's red because sunset in California is red.
Okay.
And the idea behind this amp was, so here we did the European heavy metal thing, but another very trademark sound is, you know, the early heavy metal days in LA, like Van Halen, Motley Crue, they all had a specific sound and that is very famous, and it was all based around hot-rodded Marshall plexis.
Yes.
So there were a lot of modders in that time, Lee Jackson, Jose Arredondo, which for all the big albums, big bands, they modded their plexis to get more gain, make them hotter and stuff like that. And so that was the blueprint for that amp, not on a circuit base, but on how do I want it to sound. But I didn't want to have it in that big 100 watt head format, because everybody buys a plexi and then finds out, okay, I have to fully crank it to get the plexi sound, and the first thing I need is a power soak.
Yeah.
So I decided to put that sound into an 18 watt head. So it's like a plexi preamp with boost options and mod options combined with a small 18 watt power amp. It's still absolutely loud enough to compete with any drummer on a stage. And this is the Cali Sunset, so California 80s heavy metal sound.
Yeah, it looks really beautiful. I love it. It's great design, like a visually for me, wow.
Yeah, it looks nice.
So, but you have something for bass player also.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, because actually it wasn't my idea. I was at Guitar Summit like 3 years ago. It was the first year I was at Guitar Summit with Tube Workshop. And all those bass players were coming to my booth saying, hey, do you also have a small all-tube bass amp? I said, no, I don't have it. And they were like almost getting mad, not with me, but with their situations as bass players. And they were like, you fantastic guitar players, you have all those options with the small wattage tube amps that you can play at home and in small stages. But nobody does that for us bass players. So if we want a true tube sound, we always end up with this big
Ampeg or something,
Ampeg fridges that nobody can play around, carry around, and I don't need that because I don't play Madison Square Garden, but I still want a tube bass tone. And 50 watt will be enough for me because I play at home, I play in smaller clubs and so on. So I came up with this amp, which is inspired by Ampeg B15, you know, the Portaflex thing. Yeah, which is a really
famous one,
legendary recording amp. It's based around that concept. It's a bit more flexible with the character control. It's all tube, and I wanted to keep it in a format that you, as a bass player, can carry by yourself and put in the trunk of your car. So you don't need roadies to carry your 8x10. Yeah. And this is also why I went for that very compact 1x12 cabinet, but which is really full range and full sounding, has a high power eminence speaker in it. Every bass player who's into tube sound loves that amp. It's actually one of my best selling amps. First I thought this is very special, but the bass players proved me wrong, because this is what they wanted from me.
Yeah.
They came to me and said, Mario, can you build something like this? And so I did. And it's going good.
It works. Great, great. Yeah, and you fill the gap because.
Probably I did, yeah.
Yeah. So, and are you planning? What is coming now in your ideas? Is it something?
Oh, I have so many ideas.
Okay. So we will. Okay, let us surprise next year or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So, couple of things going on. One thing is that probably I will try to make a very limited edition of the 2864S with the all original tube set, because I managed to get some of the old tubes. Perhaps that's one thing is coming. And the rest I cannot disclose because it's too loud now.
Okay. So where people can find your amp and contact you?
So people can contact me via my webpage, or directly drop me an email on info@tubeworkshop.de. You can get the amps directly from me, or you can order at Thomann, or if you're located in Czech Republic, I would recommend to you to visit Adam at Mountain Studio in Czechia. He has all the amps in the studio. You can hang out there, test them as long as you want, and he will help you.
Great, great. Okay, thank you very much.